selling a rental property with tenants. Hey guys, it's Brad from Georgia Probate Resource. We're a real estate solutions company in Metro Atlanta, but we buy houses all over the state of Georgia, and we specialize in the world of probate and inheritance properties. All right, so let's get to it today. So selling a rental property with tenants. This obviously applies to probate and inheritance, but it also applies to just if you're a landlord and you want to sell a property with tenants. We buy properties with tenants all the time. Very common, done many of them over the years, had to do some evictions, had to do some cash for keys, had some great tenants, had some bad tenants, you name it, run the gamut, right? And we've dealt with it all, okay? And I'm also a landlord myself, so I have tenants of my own that occupy my rental properties, and I also do some seller financing stuff. So when you are selling a rental property with tenants in place, you want to do a few things. Number one, and a lot of people don't do this, but if at all possible, you need to make sure you're notifying the tenants that you're selling the property. Also, you need to figure out, which you probably already know this, is there a lease or is there not a lease, right? If you have a written lease, is it up to date? Make sure you're providing that written lease to anybody who buys the property, because that written lease is applicable and does carry forward to the new landlord or the new owner. So you need to make sure that you're giving that information. As the buyer, I typically like to prepare a document, which is very common in commercial real estate, called a tenant estoppel agreement. And all that is a document that we sign at before closing that is signed by both the landlord, the tenant, and the buyer. And it outlines the terms of the rental agreement. If you're selling the property, are you going to give your tenants a notice to vacate? So we typically do this. I don't like to inherit tenants, and sometimes I do, and I've inherited tenants and had some really good tenants. I had one tenant I inherited, and he was with me for a couple years after that. But typically, the previous landlord didn't do a very good job of screening the tenants, or maybe they don't fit my sort of criteria for the property. So I typically want to get a tenant out of the property when I buy it and go get my own, or I want to make improvements to the property and then release the property. So boom, you just reduced your buyer's pool significantly from that point. Second of all, of the buyers that are interested, they're probably going to be more real estate savvy. They're probably going to be investors. And what do investors care about more than anything? Investors care about ROI, return on investment. So me as an investor, if I'm buying a rental property, I'm calculating, it's all just a math formula to me, and I'm looking at it and saying, am I going to get a return on investment? If I invest, $200,000 into this property or whatever it is, what is my rate of return on that investment going to be? And if I'm not getting a return on my investment, it's probably not a good investment, right? I hope that helps answer some questions about selling a rental property with tenants in place. Again, if you have a property that you need to sell, we'd love to take a look at it. Also, I am a licensed agent. If you want to go the traditional route and list the property, I'm a licensed agent with One Source in Woodstock. I'd be happy to talk to you about listing the property. But if you want an easy, fast cash offer, you don't want to mess with it, you just want to sell it, we'd be happy to make you an offer on the property. So please reach out to us. You can click on our website. You can go to probateresource.com. We'd be happy to take a look at it. So thanks again for your time today. Again, I'm Brad. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.